What's up, YouTube? It's Ryan from AnnihilatorMTG here, and today we're going to be playing a little bit of Vintage Cube. Now, Vintage Cube is one of my favorite formats as of late, but unfortunately, I haven't really gotten a chance to play it as much as I would have liked, so I figure, hey, why not make a video? So, let's get started. Alright, let's do this. And we got a Mox. Okay, Mox Pearl. Can't beat that. Alright. See what else we have here. Sneak Attack. Hexmage, Confluence, Citadel. These are all good. I like all these cards, but you just have to take the Mox. It's kind of boring in that sense, but playing with a Mox is great, so you can't really go wrong there. Now, hopefully we could do something fun with this. I've actually had decently good success with blue-white control in the format. Oddly enough, you'd think that blue-black and blue-green would be far stronger, and, you know, to an extent they are, but most of my 3-0s have been from blue-white, so I guess we'll take the Flooded Strand. Okay, Elsbeth, Sword, Burning Rage, Druid, Treasure Cruise. Let's see. I'll tell you what, I am really tempted by this hymn. It's one of my favorite cards, and you just can't go wrong with a 2-for-1. And to me, Hymn to Turok is just the embodiment of a 2-for-1, and it's really, really good, so I can't help but take it. Alright, hopefully we can get some support cards for black, because, you know, going Flooded Strands, Mox Pearl into a double black spell is a bit ambitious, let's say that. So hopefully we can get some support cards, maybe even a Mox Jet, that'd be great, huh? Get some Thoughtseize, maybe a Liliana. God, discard is so much fun to play, especially like in a format where it's not strictly speaking constructed, so everyone's kind of on like somewhat loose footing, which when you leverage aggressive discard, especially a 2-for-1, it's quite something. So let's see what we got here. Carney T, Tezzeret, Necrotal, Turnabout, Shallow Grave, Young Pyromancer. We got some good cards here. Right. You gotta take the Shallow Grave, I feel. You just have to. Okay. Karn, Land Tax, Blast Zone, Dig, Revelark, some lands, a Witch Claw. I feel like strictly in terms of card quality, I feel like where we're going, the Karn is probably the best. You could argue the Witch Claw, but if Reanimator doesn't work out, we're going to get punished, in my opinion. So we'll go with a good Karn and see where we can go from here. Okay. Ooh, a Chromox. That's tempting. What is it? A Sword. Liliana's Triumph. A Mom. A little Storm action. You know, I'll tell you what. I am admittedly very tempted with the Swords to Plowshares. And I say that because I've had really good luck with Swords to Plowshares in this cube. Just because, like, being able to just unequivocally answer almost any creature is just fantastic. Now, some creatures you'll get punished, but you know what I mean? You just can't really say no to something like that. At least in my opinion. It's kind of how I like to play. Okay. Okay, I got some decent creatures. You got a Snap, a Frantic Search. Starting to feel the pain of not being in blue, to be entirely honest with you. Now, I think out of principle, the Marsh Flats is the card to take here because it's in our colors. Mana fixing is fantastic, and it's kind of what you just have to do. I can't even get to tell you how many mistakes I've made over the years with just not prioritizing mana fixing and, you know, correct mana. A good mana base can really help. So I think we're going to just go with a Bayou just to stay open. But I'm not entirely expecting to leverage green here because like I said, I've had some good experiences with these colors, but we'll take the Pernicious Deed just in case. All right, we got a Shambling Vent. Can't go wrong with that. Love that land. So we'll get rid of this Flooded Strand for the time being because I don't expect to do much with blue. It's never really that open anyways, so not putting all our eggs in one basket in blue is probably good. Take the Elspeth because just leveraging planeswalkers is really, really good. Okay. And PZ, what the heck is. Huh. I must never pay attention to that card, but why not? I think we take the land tax. Even if you get one activation of the land tax, it can be very good. We got a sword. Hopefully we can get more token creation or like a stone forge to leverage the sword there. That, if anything, just giving ourselves a efficient clock can be very, very useful. Okay. Now, if I was playing in blue, I would likely grab the Krasis or the Scarab God. I've had great experience with the Scarab God, but here I'm either gonna take the Souls, Night's Whisper, the Mana Tithe. These all seem good. I feel like the Mana Tithe is the most explosive though, and it can really chump people out, so we'll go with that. Jeez, Jace and a Time Spiral, two of my favorite cards. How fun. Um, I will say though, Armageddon is just absolutely mind-numbingly good in certain scenarios if you can have a board. So we'll go with that. Oh boy, let's see. Chandra, Gearhulk. I mean, Reanimator isn't open because we don't have that many enablers, but I think we might have to take the Corpse Stanch just on the off chance that in pack 3 or later in pack 2 we might be able to put something together, but I'm a bit pessimistic there. We'll take the Iona just because, why not? We need targets after all. Okay, since we have the sword, I feel like we have to take the Stoneforge, but Grave Titan is spectacular, especially with various reanimation targets. But again, Stoneforge can just it's low to the ground. It enables a lot of good stuff. It's just good card advantage. Okay, I'm torn here. On one hand, Ink Eyes is okay, but I really like the Revoker, but I feel like having two really solid reanimation targets is like what you have to do. Like to me, two is a sweet spot. A little bit more than that can be good too. A little less and you're ambitious. So we'll go with this just to give ourselves an out to reanimation if we can actually find the support cards that we need. But with how things are going with the rest of the draft, I'm not too concerned. Okay, we got our Batterskull. We got our Batterskull. This is good. I don't think we really need much more than this. I wouldn't mind necessarily like a third sword for like the sideboard or whatever, on the off chance that we need it. You know, you just pick the stronger one and the Batterskull, and then put the third one in the side if we need it for, like I said, sideboard matchups. But okay, I think here things are coming together for a really good kind of mid-rangey type deck here. Worm Coil's nice, but what are the chances that we'd cast it? We've got no use for Progenitus. Moat is tempting. Honestly, Moat is tempting, but the problem is we do have these two flyers, right? We got these two flyers here, but the Stone Forge. So I feel like we have to take the Languish. Okay, Lingering Souls, doing our best Dead Guy Ale impression. We can't go wrong there. And quite honestly, having these cards that are just really good, value oriented, it's just nice. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the Stoneforge replaces itself and it brings, it brings something good. And then like, oh, the Lingering Souls, if you discard it, who cares? It's just good. I feel here we have to take the Thalia because it's really the only card in this pack that really is at all relevant, but I don't think we'll be playing it simply because I like leveraging non-creature spells. Unexpectedly Absent is pretty good. More mana fixing, can't go wrong there with a Courtyard. Okay. Let's see, what else do we got? Bit of a slow draft here. I apologize for that, but we'll have to see. Oh, Playcrafter. That's nice. I do enjoy Playcrafter. An on-time Playcrafter can be one of the better cards, in my opinion, simply because it just answers so many just monstrously good, like Planeswalker threats, for instance. And the fact that it's sacrifice, you can get around some nutty interaction. Okay. Brimaz, Packrat, we have another Armageddon type effect with the Ravages of War, and an Ophiomancer, and a Bolt. Nice. Now, in my opinion, the Brimaz might be strictly speaking better, but I do have good experiences with Ophiomancer as a card. It can just be annoying enough to work. Now, I think more people are going to be in black than they are going to be in white, so maybe taking the Ophiomancer and hoping we can wheel the Brimaz might be the way to go here. I kind of wish we had more green support for the Vraska, but we'll go with the Ophiomancer for the time being. Okay. The Emrakul's nice if we do find a way to utilize reanimator type effects, and of course the mana fixing is good too in the Elspeth. I think we once again I think we might take the Emrakul because I don't see people taking Elspeth or the Godless Shrine, or rather the white black dual land. Um, you see Ashen Rider, Balance, they're both great, but Inquisition is early interaction, and I think we kind of need that. I think we kind of need to be leveraging early game so we can stop like debilitating combo or aggro decks and hopefully be able to stabilize from there. Nighthawk isn't terrible. Kithian is okay. I guess we'll take the Living Death just because, I'm kind of in denial about the reanimation side here. Murderous Rider is just fantastic. There's no denying that. And Burial Rites is like, god, and Burial Rites is just feels bad in my opinion. I think Bitter Blossom is the better mid-range card. You get that, you lay that down, and you've got quite the engine for blockers, potential value. Okay, we'll go with that. Damnation, Elish Norn. I guess, we have a lot of good stuff already, so I guess maybe we can afford to take the Elish Norn, but the Gideon's good too. It's a threat, it's low to the ground. Elish Norn is strong, though. I don't know, I guess we'll just take this. I feel like we're at the point where we've just got like a flood of good cards, so it's just like, this deck works. No matter what happens, this deck is going to work, but ooh, Gideon. God, now that's the mid-range breaker right there. In a mirror match against like control or like mid-range, just like the big Elspeth, just being able to just, creature after creature after creature, and then you have all this other like utility, you can attack, you can pump. It's just a really good card. I think at this stage then, since we have all of these strong mid-range haymakers, we might as well cut the reanimation package, or the pseudo reanimation package. It was pretty anemic to begin with, and then just build around mid-range. We have a decent curve, which is helpful. So I think we can make this work. Maybe throw in the Ink Eyes, I guess. Oh, the Brimaz. Okay. Well, that's good. We have some really strong threes. I wish we had like a Liliana, but this is fine. This is fine, especially with the equipment packages that we have, leveraging tokens, leveraging planeswalkers that can produce tokens, that kind of thing. This is all very strong. Okay, dual land, but the Elspeth, you can't not take the Elspeth. I've said this before, but like Elsbeth and 4-mana Gideon is just absolutely ridiculous if you're playing against anything that isn't just lightning fast. Balance is great. Balance is great. I don't know if we, strictly speaking, have the best like artifact base to support a balance that isn't strictly speaking even, but that's fine. We'll take the Mutavault because I think our mana is good enough, and Thraben Inspector just because, I mean, why not? I don't know if we'll keep it in. We might cut it, to be honest. Oh, and the Gideon. Okay. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. This ended up working out a lot better than I necessarily expected. So I'm gonna work on trimming this up, cutting some of the fat, and hopefully we can have a pretty good deck for you guys. All right, guys. Here's what I came up with. I'm actually pretty happy with this deck. We have a decent like mana curve, something that I actually like to play with, and I don't know. I'm confident that we can at least 2-1 with this. Might need to get a little bit lucky, but let's do our best, all right? All right. Match 1, game 1. We've got some Orzhov mid-range. Let's do this. Best of luck to my opponent. Okay. Now, this hand, I think it's on the good side of a 50-50, so I'll keep it. This could go very poorly if my opponent has a very powerful linear style deck, be it, very aggro or combo. But if they have a moderate to slow start, as long as we don't get flooded, I think we have a chance. So we'll lead with a Swamp into the Mox Pearl and pass. We might be able to blow them out if they have an early Planeswalker or a Mana Dork, but either way, we do need to top deck something. We can't just be swimming in lands here. Okay, a Swamp, that's not entirely great for us, but no Thoughtseize, okay. Balance. All right. We might be able to leverage balance, to be honest. We've got the Mox, we've got the Swamp, but I think we have to play another land. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what our opponent has to say. All right, green. Not bad. Another Mox. Okay, now I'm a touch concerned. Because this balance is going to be a whole heck of a lot worse if they've got really good artifact support for like mana rocks and such. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Our opponent seems to be knee-deep in the tank. That can only be good for us. Just kidding. That's potentially worrisome, but they've got nothing. So, all right. Sword. Okay. It's not terrible. I mean, we can jam. Yeah, let's do it. Let's play the sword. Oh, stupid thing. God. You gotta love the interface of Magic Online. All right, so we'll play our sword, so we can easily equip it to whatever we end up having, be it tokens or even honestly a Mutavault. But we'll have to see. What does our opponent have for us? Okay, another Swamp. Ooh, that's a late mana dork. Huh. I'll tell you what. I am tempted here. I think if we balance, they will lose out in cards in hand, and they'll lose the mana dork. And if we wait to play a land, then we won't really lose much of anything. I don't know if a 2-for-1 is enough with the balance, but I feel like we have to try. Like, realistically speaking. I've waited for balance far too long. Like, you just wait for, like, the complete back-breaking balance. So hopefully this will be okay. We'll have to see, though. God only knows what our opponent has in store for us. But this, in my eyes, this certainly can't hurt. This is just sort of like a weird kind of 2-for-1 play, similar to what you would do with like a Hymn to Turok. A Hymn to Turok right now, if it was castable, would be excellent. So since we can't cast that, balance seems to be the next best thing. Our opponent, I wonder, oh god, do they have blue? Are they deciding to counter? Like do they have like a force or something? That would be nuts. A reanimate. They binned a reanimate. Okay, well, I'm a little concerned because if they're a reanimator deck, we need to get a hold of this game fast. But why would they bin a reanimate instead of like a creature or God forbid anything else? Maybe they have like redundancy. I'm unsure. Hmm. Well, they're not saying anything. I was wondering if they were like disconnected or whatever because they seem to be taking their sweet time here, resolving the balance. Well, it's a tough thing to have to work around. It's a bit of a backbreaking card. So we'll play the planes and we'll pass. Okay. Wow, they do have blue. Jeez. Oh, an Oko. All right. If they turn their Mox into a creature, we're in trouble. And they didn't. Okay. Because I want to save the swords for whatever the heck they might be reanimating. If it's something that I need to answer like immediately, then I need to take care of that. But since that doesn't seem to be the case, now I can just Plague Crafter and take out the Oko that way, which isn't bad. Oh, a wall too. That's pretty nice. I actually really like Wall of Omens. I enjoy like value enter the battlefield creatures that can kind of be slotted into like a mid-rangey or a control deck. It just feels nice. So hopefully we can cantrip something good here. A plains. Guess that doesn't hurt. Now Elsbeth is live. So we can play Crafter and we get to hold up the swords. So actually that plains might have been the perfect card here. And I believe we're just going to sack the wall because the Plague Crafter can attack and we have no way of blinking the wall. So, and even if we could, maybe blinking the Plague Crafter would just be better. So I think we're good here. I don't know. I'm confident. I'm confident with this game so far. My opponent is, they seem to have a pretty decent deck, but I think we have a good grasp on what's going on. A Kitchen Finks. Interesting. Okay. Well, I do enjoy Kitchen Finks, and I don't necessarily know if Sourcing is worth it, but I think we have to because of Persist, and so we can start actually getting in for damage and not necessarily wasting our time here. And I think clearing the way might be the way to do it, and that way they lose value on the Persist because if it exiles, it doesn't happen. Yeah, we have to Elsbeth here. I was thinking for a moment, do you Karn? But Elsbeth just seems like the no brainer here. All right, so we'll uptick, get the knuckleheads out. Now, I'm a firm believer that if you get, I don't know, I want to say if you get 2, maybe 3 activations of Elspeth, the game's over at that point. It's hard enough dealing with the first wave of 3, but the second wave of 3 is absolutely ridiculous, and just get out of town with a third. It's not something that is easily like manageable. Now, if they kill Elspeth literally right now, we are pressured, but they're not, so that's pretty good. And now what we can do is equip, because as much as I like value, as much as I like the value proposition with as much as I like the value proposition with Karn here, um oh, and we can play it anyways. Sorry, I miscounted. That's completely my bad. Yeah. All right. Okay. I keep thinking that Mox isn't mana for some reason. It's just, ugh, God. Never play Magic tired. All right. So we get to activate our swords here. All right. God, I just love the swords, man. If you can get them to work, they are just excellent. All right. Now that we've got 2 walkers, I think we have this all but locked up. So let's uptick the Karn, right? Yeah. Let's uptick the Karn. We already have enough power as it is on the board. Okay, what do we have here? Interesting. Okay, well, those are two good cards. We can't really play the Him, or really the Rider slash Swift End. But again, cards in hand, it's always good. It's always good to kind of keep the fire going. Excuse me. All right. A prime time. See, I don't think that'll do it unless they have some kind of ridiculous land that I haven't accounted for. We can just down tick the Elspeth, right? Yeah, we could just down tick the Elspeth. Interesting. You see, normally I feel really threatened by these Sultai decks, but for some reason, I just feel like we have a good grasp on this game. And if we can tempo them out early, I feel like we can get ahead and sort of match their speed. And at that point, what can they even do? Okay, so let's down tick. Okay, now let's yeah, we should probably just see more cards before we do anything. I don't think they would have an instant speedway to kill Elsbeth during the activation, so we should be fine. Okay. All right. So land, crack it. Probably gonna get a swamp. Yeah. All right. We'll hymn them just to take care of them. Empty their hand. Weird. Okay. So they. I mean, what is this? This is such a strange deck my opponent seems to be playing. All right. So we'll down tick the Elspeth to kill the prime time. But oh geez, hold on. That would hit the crafter, wouldn't it? Okay, so let's equip to a soldier. Okay, now we're good. So we'll down tick. Take care of the prime time. We have this locked up at this point. It's basically elementary at this point. All right. Or academic rather. Jeez. Sorry, like I said, I was tired. Okay, cool. On to game number 2. Let's do it. Okay, on to game 2. I am pretty confident with what we have, so I think we're just going to run it back. I generally like to keep as concise a main board as possible, unless you have literally everything. In which case, then there's really not much to discuss. You side in what you need, and you don't what you don't. So hopefully we have a good opening hand here. We won with a pretty subpar opener last game, so this is much better. Okay. All right, this has everything you kind of want. I would maybe want like a hymn in here, maybe instead of the Plague Crafter, maybe instead of the Plague Crafter, but you can just Inquisition into Answer if they have a really bad threat, and then Stoneforge, and then from there we're kind of firing on all cylinders here. So this should be good. The only downside here really is if our opponent has some kind of monstrously strong opening turn where he outvalues us or thought seizes us. But no, okay. All right, this is good. This is good for us. So let's roll out the swamp, give him the Inquisition, and let's see what he has. All right. Entomb. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Oh no, I wonder if that means they have like a double reanimator effect. A tutor and a Cabal ritual? Wow, they mulliganed to this. How bad was their opener? Huh. Okay, sure. We'll take the tutor. I don't get that Cabal ritual at all. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to my opponent. I'm sure they're great, but it's the type of thing where I don't understand the idea behind that. It's not like they're... Yeah, I don't know. Okay. We'll play the Plains, jam the Stoneforge. I believe we're going to get a Batter Skull here because getting the sword is nice, but we need a clock. And it's not like we have a sort of Fire and Ice, so I'm a little bit less invested in going with any of the different swords. Feast and Famine would be good too, but That's not what we have here. All right. Oh, we're going to get a Leovold or something? Nope. Okay. I think we'll play this. Yeah. See, the problem, it's usually correct to just do the Shambling Vent, just so you have, all access to all 4 mana on turn 4. However, the problem here is we have to either use the swords or activate the Stoneforge. We can't do both. So maybe that was a mistake. And it's not like we have a 4-drop in hand. So I'm kind of reluctant about that last move here. Okay. We got a Tar Pit and an Oko. All right. So we'll do this in... Okay, never mind. We will wait for them to activate the Oko. That way they can't turn our Batterskull into an Elk. Because that would be bad. Although if he misclicked and hit the Germ, that would be hilarious. All right. So they made a food token. We're going to launch the Batterskull out. And here we are. Okay. So this feels good. When they jam an Oko and we have a lot of threats on the board, this feels good. Now the question here is Plaguecrafter or animate the Shambling Vent. I guess we go with the Crafter, but I don't know actually. I really okay. Do we just jam? I guess we can just swing for face. We'll swing for face and then use the Plaguecrafter. We can sack the Stoneforge, so we keep the 3/2, and then they lose the Oko. So that is probably the most powerful play. I don't know if it's the best thing we could do here, but it seems like the kind of thing that will close this out as soon as we can. Okay. And we still have one open for the swords. And that's an elf. Okay. Not the scariest thing in the world. Truly. Alright, so there's the Nykthos. Still don't understand that ritual. Oh, and there we go. We got it. GG's, opponent. That was actually pretty fun. I really like your deck. Alright, on to match number 2. Let's see if we can keep this going. Alrighty, match number 2. Best of luck to our opponent. We won the die roll. Let's see what we got. Okay. This is good. We can carve out into some pretty nasty stuff here. I mean, turn 1, like Wall of Omens might not seem like the most luxurious thing in the world, but like a turn 2 Gideon, that's kind of nice. So let's see what our opponent has to offer here. Hopefully we don't get completely blown out by some shenanigans. Alright, Wall resolves, and our cantrip, a land. Okay, well hopefully we stop seeing those. Or at least not too many. Okay, we got a Badlands. Pass. Alright, good. No thoughtseize. Another land. I am cursed. Okay. We're going to jam the Gideon. Completely forget how this guy works. I like how all these Gideon designs are just like kind of loosely the same, but still different. So we'll uptick. I guess you have to click another target creature. So I just, whatever. Make the Wall of Omens strong or something. Alright. Okay, here we go. Good to uptick. Gotta love Summoning Sickness. Okay, what do you got for me, opponent? An island. Okay, we got some Grixis. Pack Rat. I hate Pack Rat. Okay. I kind of want to wait for the opponent to start to like get rid of their own stuff, but I know that if you let Pack Rat get out of control, it just quickly becomes a massive nuisance. So I gotta figure out what to do with this Gideon. Uptick. Give whatever to the wall. And we'll swing in for 4. Okay. Do we swords? Yeah, I feel like we have to. But I want them to discard at least once, as silly as that sounds, because I feel like they eventually have to block the Gideon or try to block the Gideon, in which case then we kind of punish them. But if this does get out of control, then I'm going to really regret that later. We'll have to see. Hopefully they don't have anything too crazy. All right. So opponent doesn't attack. That makes sense. Wouldn't really go anywhere because of the wall. Murderous Rider. Okay, now we have options. We have options to take out multiple pack rats if need be. All right, so let's animate this. And then we'll uptick the Gideon. Choose the Shambling Vent instead of the wall, because, I mean, the Wall of Omens just kind of sits there. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. And then we'll attack. Right, okay. Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, I was thinking about any potential really strange like combat tricks with the pack rat, and I'm just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally do anything really stupid. Okay. We got 1 mana open. They're going to activate the rat, a damnation. That's very interesting. I guess the damnation is pretty weak because 2 of my creatures on board right now stop becoming creatures at the end of my turn, which is really good, in my opinion. Okay, so we got 2/2/2s. Potentially 2 attacking 3/3s. That's important to remember. They can quickly get out of hand. But I still think we have this. We're making them discard things. We're making them have it. And we'll swords the one attacking the Gideon, because we do need to answer them. We can't let them have like unlimited pack rats. So we'll do this. And that's it. Wow. Okay, opponent. Jeez. Wow, that's kind of insane. But all right. Okay, I really don't think there's anything here that I necessarily need, so we'll just ship this right back and hope that we have at least a moderately strong opening hand and they don't have, like, the best thing ever. I'm not really sure what else to expect of this Grixis Pack Rat deck. Very strange. Okay, Moxen, Land Tax, Mana Tithe. This seems good. This seems very good. To me, all you really need is one trigger of the land tax in order for it to be functionally worth it, because it's not just about getting your land on curve. It's about taking them out of your deck. Okay, balance too. This has potential, especially with the Moxen. So we'll jam the land tax and then hold up the Mana Tithe. This Mana Tithe is going to prove to be very good, I think. Unless the opponent has some way of dealing with it. Are we going to get another pack rat? God, how annoying would that be? Is it a Baleful Strix? Oh, okay. Okay, Time Walk. That's fun. Yeah, well, we have to counter that. Yep. Don't force me. Please? Okay, alright, good. I don't even know if a force there would really be all that in their favor, because it's just like giving up so much in hand just to basically ramp. Because it's not like they have a developed board. So we'll activate this. And really, like I said, the entire purpose here is just let's thin the deck. It's basically like the painless fetch land trick, but it goes in your hand instead. Now, do we do another value balance, I wonder? Because we can take them off of a land. And I think with what we have in hand, we can get rid of the spare lands that we have. We don't really need those. It's not really counting as a discard. I think we should do this. It's not the best, but like I said, I'm tired of waiting, until the opponent is like about to kill me to balance, you know what I mean? Because then if it gets countered, it's like, well, what was the point of that? Okay, so we click the ones that we want to keep. I think we can get rid of the big Elspeth because I don't really know when we're going to actually be able to cast her, if that makes sense. I think if we get to that point, we've probably already won anyways. Although I could be mistaken here. That Elspeth is really powerful. So we'll jam. We'll jam the Mutavault. Okay. Let's see. What is this? Kite sail. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess that sucks. Although, geez, do we have what answer? Yeah. Okay. We got swords. We have a couple ways to deal with this, but okay, he's gonna take the Karn. That makes sense. The Elspeth is a clock, but the Karn is a lot of value. And oh, cool. Plaguecrafter. That's good. All right, so we'll just tap 3. Oh, right, we don't have swamps on board. Whoops. My bad. Okay. So now we get the Karn back, which is vital. I will gladly trade a Plaguecrafter for Karn. So now hopefully we can get our value plan going again. Okay. No islands, which is great. Murderous Rider, that's pretty good. We can answer any stupid Planeswalker shenanigans of their own. So I think the obvious thing here is uptick for value. What do we have here? Ophiomancer? Okay, we got a swamp. We'll play that. All right. I feel like as crazy as it sounds, it's not like I have that commanding of a position here, but like the opponent isn't doing much, and what they are doing seems to be very I don't know, just not enough, I feel. Okay, so we've got a Wall of Omens. We can okay, we'll uptick first. That does make sense. Wow, 2 lands. Jeez. Okay. And of course they give us the swamp. All right, so hopefully we can find another planes here, just so we can stay a little bit more balanced, or just another answer. But honestly, I think we're good on threats and whatnot. It's just a matter of continuing to press the issue. All right, so we animate. Okay, what is this? Oh, push. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's really not that big of a deal. We already have so much mana as is, and it's not like that was a colored source. So I'm like, if that was a shambling event, I'd be a little bit more upset. Oh, cool. We got our island. Or not island, plains. Jeez. All right. We'll uptick. Jeez. Well, another plains. Okay, so we'll jam the Elspeth. At this point, with 2 walkers, I don't really know what they can do, which is great for us because we have a constant source of card advantage. We have a way of dealing with our own walkers if they have one, and then we have a way to flood the board or make the board that is already flooded more powerful. So I think at this point it's all but locked up. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just like overconfidence showing, but I really don't think the opponent has anything here that's really going to be all that compelling. Okay, there's their island. It's not bad. Does anyone know if the 4-mana Bolus, the Ravager, is in the cube? Because that would be interesting. Or an Ashiok. That would be good too. Well, luckily we have the Rider, the Swift End portion of the Rider. So, okay, they didn't really get anything. No creatures for them to steal. Not that the Ashiok is going to live long enough for that. So, yeah, this is all but locked up at this point. We can bring the sword back with the Karn, which will speed things up. We can, or do we want to uptick? like the first ability. Nah, let's just get the sword back. Okay. Then we'll Swift End the Ashiok. We'll take 2. Okay. Then we jam the sword. We'll pump the creature. So we've got a 4/4 flyer attacking in the air. Not bad. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, there's so much on this board to answer and deal with. I really don't know what they could have that would really mean much. But we'll have to see. Anything? Oh, cool. We got it. Awesome. Another one in the books. All right, on to the final match. Let's see if we can bring this one home. All right, time for match number 3. Let's see what we can do here. Best of luck to the opponent, of course, and let's have a good match. And we win the die roll, which is always excellent. Seem to be doing that a lot lately. Okay, well, we can't keep this. Not at all. We need lands. This one isn't half bad. We can ship the Batterskull, which the Stoneforge will get back. The only real problem here is the lack of swamps, but hopefully we can draw into some of that. So we'll play planes and then pass. All right, as long as the opponent isn't doing some like breakneck speed combo deck, we should be fine. Shambling Vent, interesting. I wonder if this is like a mirror match. That would be fascinating. So we'll crack the fetch, get a swamp. We'll get the Stoneforge. Okay, get the Batterskull. Very nice. All right. What does the opponent have? All right, playing against some Esper. That's interesting. Is this a Baleful Strix, perhaps? Ah, Riftwing. Got it. That card, man, I'll tell you, at first glance, it's just kind of meh, but like it can be powerful. Okay, so top deck the Armageddon. That's not terrible, especially if we can deploy enough threats, but that's yet to be seen. So we'll jam the Brimaz. At this point, I'm jamming the Brimaz instead of playing the Stoneforge because I legitimately think the aggression, the ability to block, it's all just a little bit more significant. And by the time the Riftwing would bounce the Brimaz, for instance, it would have hopefully already created a good amount of tokens, which matters to me a little bit more than the Batterskull. I could be entirely wrong, though, so we'll have to see. Okay. Not much from our opponent, and not much from us either. So, I don't hate the Swords to Plowshares, but it is a bit unfortunate. On the bright side, what we can do here is we're going to swing with the Brimaz. We're going to get in with that. Thank God for Vigilance. Then what we're going to do is hold up the Swords and the Stoneforge. That's the plan. That's really the only upside of drawing this Swords instead of land here. So everything is sort of coming together, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see on that. Okay. Opponent is curving out. Oh, is this a Jace? Don't be a Jace. What have we got? What is this? Oh, interesting. Serpent. This thing is weird. Weird card. Only ever see it in Vintage Cube, obviously, but it's something else. So we'll Swords it. Don't like that at all. We'll activate that. Shoot the Batterskull into play. Now, at this point, if we top deck a land, we're Armageddon. And there you go. Okay. See, this way, the Riftwing isn't going to be enough, and we can just completely dismantle them. And there's no force. That's excellent. So this is pretty much in the books at this point, and the opponent scoops it up. Good stuff. All right. Once again, I really don't think we do anything but just ship it back, so that's what we're going to do. Hopefully we can get a strong opening hand, perhaps leveraging early Hymn to Turok would be great. And if not that, then some kind of nice mana curve of early interaction into threats, and that's pretty much how you win with this deck, which is rather entertaining from a player's perspective. Okay, so this is good. This is very good. We have answers for planeswalkers. We have a little surprise with the mana tithe. The balance is just going to be debilitating, or at the very least, a value play, and the trusty Wall of Omens. So this is not bad. They got an island. Okay. Oh, nice, and a Mox too. All right, we'll play this, which is great. Go with the fetch. We're not going to crack it right away because we're holding up the mana tithe. As much as I want to do like a very early Wall of Omens, we're going to need to hold up the mana tithe in order for it to be truly worth it. Now we have an opportunity to do another value balance here, and I think we might do that. Because then we can just play a plains afterwards and then hold up the tithe. Yeah. That sounds good. Okay, see if the opponent has like a daze or something. That would punish us hard. Nope. Excellent. Okay. Now we got the mana tithe held up. This balance just makes this mana tithe so much more powerful. Because the opponent needs to curve out, basically, and if they try to, then they get punished. So this is great. Alright. Mutavault, that's not half bad. I do want to play the Swamp, though, just to have access to anything with this Wall of Omens that we might need. I think we're going to be winning via a concession, if we're going to win at all, because it seems that this opponent is quick to scoop it up, at least from what I've seen. I mean, the Armageddon was a little bit backbreaking, but that's just my assumption. All right, got a forest, nothing else, I guess. All right, now we untap. Ooh, another sword. Nice. We can make that work, I guess, but I think the Ophiomancer, maybe? Yeah, just leveraging that, because it's such an annoying card to deal with. Plus, it'll be a reoccurring way to create a blocker, create an attacker, all of the above. What is this? I don't want to mana tithe this, but I feel like if you don't mana tithe early enough, then you just get dismantled. So I feel like we have to. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. God, just don't daze us. Alright, thank goodness. Alright, so the Ophiomancer triggers. We get a little snake friend, which is pretty cool. Hopefully that's worth it. I don't want to get punished with like a Jace or something. Granted, we do have a Murderous Rider, which is nice. Oracle, okay. That's not great, and the thing on top isn't really great either. Not great for them. This all seems very much manageable. We could Plague Crafter, we could just ignore it, but I think... Yeah, I think that the Plague Crafter is likely in play here. That's the best move in my eyes. Okay. Do the Plague Crafter, pitch the Old Wall. They lose their Oracle, which hurts. Let's deploy the Sword just to kind of allow for a stronger turn next turn. We'll swing in. And as long as the opponent can't find a way to deal with the board in time, then I think we're okay. Because I know they're top decking that Serpent, and that's not very good, because if they dump all their mana into it, we can just kill it. And 1-for-1ing while we already have a board established just seems like a huge advantage in our favor. But we'll have to see, especially with some of the free spells that are available in Vintage Cube. God only knows what the opponent could do to us. So we don't want to walk into a trap, you know what I mean? Okay, 2 mana, 3. So this seems like the Serpent, yeah. Yep, the Serpent. Okay. So I'm not too afraid of the Serpent because we have an answer in the Swift End side of the Murderous Rider. We top deck the Stoneforge. I don't think we're really going to need it because we already have a very good board developed. So we will cast the Swift End onto the Serpent. We'll take care of that. Big waste of mana on their part. We'll take the 2. Then we'll equip the Sword of the Plague Crafter and swing in. And the sword activation should hurt quite a bit, which is very nice. So we swing in, no effects, it seems. Sword activation. All right, I think at this point they need a board wipe or some way to buy a ton of time or it's basically over. Let's take a look. And that's it. Holy cow, can't believe it. 3-0 with Orzhov mid-range. Honestly speaking, guys, I really enjoyed the deck. I play a ton of blue online, especially in the cube, and it's really fun to play, but I'll tell you what, when you mix it up and you play these different strategies that a lot of people aren't really picking up, it can be a great time. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it. I would really appreciate it if you guys would drop a like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate that. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and hopefully I'll be bringing you guys some Vintage Cube content again real soon. It seems to be the thing to do when you're stuck inside all day. Have a good one.